Hey, oh,
Ooh.
shoot. Oh, there we go. Are we on?
We're on. We're live.
We're
We're
on.
live.
We're live. Shoot. Welcome to Accidental Nonsense. My name's Dave,
I'm Kristen.
and we have another show to bring to all the people. I'm pretty sure our podcast is ranked number 4,855 right now in the world.
Ooh, snap.
We're climbing the.
That's pretty good.
Now we don't. Now I don't know if that's accurate. We don't fact check ourselves, but I could say we're number
Yeah,
one,
we
and
just
somebody can fact check us. Not yet. We're not number one yet. I got my podcast book though, writing down stuff to talk about during the day, and I know we have.
I've got a book.
We all got
today,
books.
too.
We all have books. What episode is this? We didn't say. What episode? Are we on episode 12?
I don't even know. I stopped keeping track.
I think it's episode 12. Wait, no, we did the 10. Episode 10 was our St. Patty's Day, so this is episode 11. I got to change that now. It's episode 11, folks. So we are at episode 11. So welcome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you want me to kick it off with the Would You Rather? Should we start with that? I said I had a good one.
Let's start with that.
All right. Would you rather be buried alive or drown?
Oh, snap. Holy heck.
Think about the way the positives and the negatives.
Drown.
Both.
Drown.
Why?
100%. Because you'd probably just swallow some water and like pass out quicker.
Well, I mean, I guess that's accurate, but what if like
I feel like it'd be quicker.
But don't you think I guess either one you'd have the potential of someone saving you,
No
right?
one's coming to save you, no.
Have you ever heard what was it? Back in the day they used to put like a little bell on coffins. A little bell on coffins?
Yeah, I've heard of this. That's why it's called Saved by the Bell, right? Is that true?
No, wait. What, the show?
No, that's where
have you seen that? Have you seen that though? Like the little like.
Have I actually seen the bell? No.
Yeah, just in case someone's like, if they're actually like buried alive, then they can ring the bell and people can hear them.
No. When did this occur? What time period were they doing?
Well, now
this?
you're asking me specifics, and hold up, coffin.
Well, you should have been prepared.
Coffin bell.
Which would you choose? You would choose to be buried alive?
No, of course not. Heavens no.
So why are you making fun of me for choosing drowning?
No, that's not the being buried alive thing sounds it sounds
That's
just
like hell.
Terrible. Yeah, that is. Have you seen the movie with Ryan Reynolds, Buried?
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't keep track of myself, so
well,
I don't know.
it is one of the best acting performances I have ever seen by Deadpool Man. It was really good.
Just by him.
Just by him. It was really, I mean, the whole movie he was buried alive, and literally that's the whole movie. It is just him in a.
No, I haven't seen that.
That's it.
That sounds. Oh, maybe I have. I don't
for
know.
An hour and like a half.
Terrible.
Yeah, for
Why
an hour
did he get buried?
He wanted to what?
Why did he get buried?
Oh, it's a whole like I don't know. They accidentally. It's a whole thing. You gotta see the movie.
All right, I guess I'll watch that.
All right, I'm gonna share this screen here so those on our YouTube channel can see. So the coffin is basically. We were talking about the coffin bell.
He had the film in that little box that whole time. That seems.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. That's why it was really good. So the coffin bell is basically just a coffin, and then there's like a little like chimney type thing that goes up, and then you're able to pull the bell and it rings if like just in case so people can hear. So I don't know if you can see that.
Someone better be on duty.
Do you see how it's set up there?
How many people were saved this way? How many people got to be buried like that to where this would be necessary?
I mean, I guess that's and this. I'm not sure. They were called safety.
They should have just stopped burying people and just put them out in the field now.
Well, that's why I would personally choose to be cremated when I die because I don't want there to be a potential concern. It was the 18th and 19th century. That's what I mean. I don't want to come back to life. Once I'm dead, don't bring me back.
That seems too recent, too.
All right. So this is good because this is like we're going to talk about like health anxiety and like anxiety basically in general, right? That Kristen mainly has. I don't really have it. Um,
Yeah, okay.
but it says that this
I have a
safety
story
coffin.
about you.
Oh, good. This safety coffin is basically the fear of being buried alive peaked during the cholera epidemics of the 19th century, but accounts of unintentional live burial have been recorded even earlier. And so they started making these safety coffins just in case you
Well,
were
I would like
accidentally,
to be buried in a safety coffin just in case.
just in case. Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I have said I don't want a coffin. I would like to be just put on a field somewhere. That way, if something happens, I'm good to go.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Just put you in.
But maybe
Just
put
put.
like a cage around me so like
Just
animals don't eat me.
maybe they want to. Maybe you want to have one of like a coffin tree. Like you just lift up your coffin into a tree and just let it
Yeah,
sit.
a tree house. But then the birds could still get
tree,
me.
a
So
tree,
I need
treehouse
something
coffin.
around me.
Okay, but back to the would you rather, buried alive or drowned? I would choose buried alive is I think a slower way to go, and it's also a more anxiety filled way to go. But I feel
Yeah,
like
it
being
seems pretty
drowned is like it could potentially happen pretty quick depending on how much water you actually like suck in.
It's gonna happen quicker than being buried alive,
For sure,
right?
100%. An audience member just showed up. I think it seems like
Unless you can hold your breath for a long time.
right.
We have one in the audience. Hot
One
dog.
in the audience. He's watching. It's our special. It's probably
Well,
it's probably a friend that just supports me better than any of my other friends, and so that's probably the reality of it.
yeah, maybe.
I have another one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Said truth. All right, so I got him. Okay, so here it is. What's your least favorite exercise?
Ooh. Running.
Running. Really? That's your least favorite one?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
No,
So
it's not.
it's my favorite one. I mean that's all I mainly do.
Well,
I don't know what my least favorite one would
this
be.
is where we're at.
I guess my least favorite one would probably be just like pull-ups.
Because you can't do them.
Because I can't do like one or two. So
I can
I
do
got
three
running
now.
muscles. You can
I'm
do
up to
three.
3.
I could do one
I'm
when
up
I
to
jump.
3.
I can jump. It's like I got it. Oh my goodness.
So, would you
Yeah,
consider
go.
yourself to be a hypochondriac?
100%.
A real one?
Like, well, define that.
I've never really actually. Hold on.
I would assume I'm a real life hypochondriac, and those in the
So,
chat,
for the people listening, a
yeah.
hypochondriac is someone who lives with the fear that they have a serious but undiagnosed medical condition. Yeah, this is funny because this is me.
Keep going.
But it's not funny. Even though diagnostic tests show that there's nothing wrong with them, hypochondriacs experience extreme anxiety from bodily responses most people take for granted. So, I mean, I don't think I'm like on a scale of 1 to 10, if there was a spectrum of hypochondriac, I wouldn't be a 10, but I might be a solid 7.
I'm probably an 8.
Or, yeah, I was
If
going
it's
to
a
say
ranking
7.
system of hypochondriac additionisms, then I would
Yeah,
probably be an 8.
yeah.
I mean, I went to the ER when I shared this on what was that, our first or second episode. I went to the ER because I bit my tongue. I mean, it was really bad, but I bit my tongue, and I feel like I need to show the photo so people aren't just like he went to the ER
No,
because he bit his tongue. I feel like I need to share the photo.
no, not here. This is not the space for that.
All right, we'll share it on our Instagram channel later. But I feel like people think that I'm just like I'm going to the ER for a bite tongue, but it was bad. It was bad.
But that's like an actual thing that happened though.
Right.
So
It's not
what's
like
been something where have you ever been to the doctor and they were just like, no,
like
like you want
no.
has that ever happened?
Been to the doctor like you again?
Yeah.
Well, I actually had a conversation with my doctor about how like I'm a hypochondriac and I have like health anxiety, and so then I had a conversation about like so I might be just making appointments or just emailing you. Is that cool? Just to check and make sure, so I don't fall into like if I Google that my nail
Well,
hurts
yeah. That's
that
true.
I'm
Yeah.
But you're asking like, what's the
Have you okay, so for me, one time I went to we'll just talk about the things that we've done.
Okay, go
And I
ahead.
have a story about you.
Uh-oh.
But one
Is it bad?
time I went maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. One time I went to the doctor because when I touched my head in a certain spot, there was like a weird pain.
Mm.
And anytime anything's wrong with my head, I just automatically assume I'm going to have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
And so I was like paranoid and I'm like, well, your head, like you shouldn't take that lightly. And I was like worried I would die in my sleep. And so I went to the ER and they just kind of like looked around at my head and then basically she was like, nothing's wrong with you.
Why are you here?
So, and I was like, but I could die.
Right.
So she sent me home. But I don't regret going because if
Right,
there
because
was something wrong,
it eased your mind.
like maybe it was just an ingrown hair or something, I don't know.
You had an
But
ingrown hair aneurysm.
every time it was like a certain spot, every time I touched it, there was this weird pain feeling. So
I had actually just earlier today I was yelling at my son because he was acting a fool, and I had a pain in my neck, and I was like, shoot, I got a blood clot in my neck. That was my first. That was my first thought. Now I didn't go to the doctor or anything, but that was my like first like go to was boom. But I have a story as well, and this is kind of like an ongoing. This was an ongoing one. I went to the doctor a
this is
couple
my
times because
story.
of this. Huh?
This is my story.
Which story is
Go.
it? The one with
Go.
my throat?
Yeah.
That was a story. Okay, good. I mean, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Are you
Don't
ashamed at
be.
your behavior?
No, because what if I did die?
You're right. The
Of
person
course
girl.
not. I'd much rather go see the doctor and look crazy than die.
Right. Exactly. So our live audience member says that we had a question, a comment that I'm a hypochondriac when it involves my kids, which I completely understand because anytime my kids are sick, I'm like,
Well, that's just being
let's
a good
take them.
parent, right?
Well, I mean, I don't. Maybe. I mean, it's still hypochondriacism.
No, that's just for yourself. You
All right.
can't be a selfless hypochondriac.
Should, should I tell my story?
Yeah.
All right. So once upon a time, probably like no, this was probably like 3 years ago now. So it's been quite some time, maybe 2.5 time. I didn't think at the time that I was still going to be here today. That I was going to
Me
make it 3
either.
years
I
into
thought
the
you were
future.
a goner.
Chris, you thought I was a goner. So I had a big old lump, started a big old lump in my cheek, in my lip.
I don't think it was big,
It
but
was,
it was
it was,
maybe this.
it was a hard lump in my lip. It was massive. Anyways, so now I was like, what the heck is this? So I left it for a while, and then I Googled. Like, I didn't go to the doctor at all at first. And then I Googled, and I was like, shoot, I got a hard lump in my lip. So I Googled, like, first things that come up as anything is like, dude, you got cancer. That's like what
I know,
Google said.
that's
Dude was
usually
like,
the
dude, you
first
got
thing.
cancer. And then all these photos pop up, and then I'm trying to look for the one that looks just like my thing on my lip. Right? And so I end up, so a bunch of times passed. But anyways, because of that, and like my throat started getting real dry. I started feeling like there was a lump in my throat, all sorts of things. Like I felt like I was dying. I couldn't swallow. Literally, I was like, I couldn't swallow. And it was mainly, well, now looking back, it was because of all the anxiety, right? My throat and mouth were so dry, and like nothing seemed like it was working right. Because I started thinking like I have like mouth cancer, throat cancer, or something's going on, right? And that's all because of Google. But then, so eventually I go to the doctor. I'm like, I'm just going to go. I go to the doctor, and she's looking at it. She's like, oh, it looks like just some, like, I think they call it like a mucosal, like something, cyst. And so she's like, okay, we have to set you up with an ENT. So schedule the whole appointment. We go to the ENT. I go to the ENT right away. He's like, oh, yeah, that's a mucosal cyst. You can leave it. It might go away, or you can have it removed. And I was like, well, how long is it going to take to go away? And he's like, I mean, it could take weeks. It could take months. It might never go away. So I was like, well, then let's just cut it out.
Yeah,
So then I
get rid of
get
that.
him to cut it out. And while he's cutting it out, I ask him, I'm like, because I started like looking in the back of my mouth. Hold up, my camera went all wonky again. I'm looking in
No,
the
you're
back.
good.
Oh shoot, no, it's still kind of blurry. Hold up, I gotta come back slow. All right, no, it's still funky, isn't it? Is it? Is it
I don't
good?
know. It's blurry for
Anyways,
me because
all right, I'll just come up closer for
just
the
keep
story.
messing with it.
No, you're good. Okay, so I ended up looking in the back of my throat a bunch because of this whole like fear. And I was like, man, there's a bunch of like red bumps in the back of my throat. It's just irritation. I asked the ENT about it. He said, oh, yeah, that seems fine. It's just like acid reflux and stuff. But then, like, after I had it removed and everything was fine, I still had this fear about my throat, like complete fear. I was like, I'm still dying. Something else is wrong. So then I kept going back and forth to the ENT trying to figure out if I had like acid reflux or whatever else. I don't even really know. But then I ended up going back to the doctor, the same other one, my normal doctor, and I was like, something's in my throat. It's like something's in my throat. And she's like, well, we can ease your mind. She says, I don't think it's like anything, but she's like, we can ease your mind and we can have it be like, we can do a CT scan on my throat.
Right, of course.
And did you know that I went and actually got a CT scan done?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So they laid me on a bed. They injected my veins with
Weren't you
this.
still nervous after that?
I was still nervous after the CT scan. I'm still kind of nervous now. There's all sorts of anxiety in my bones. No,
I have something. Okay.
You want me to? Well, let me just finish the
Keep
CT
going.
scan thing. Tell you how that went, right? So they have to inject this stuff into like your blood, right? And it goes throughout your whole body, so stuff shows up better on the CT scan, right? So he's like, it's gonna make you feel like you're
Yeah.
gonna have to pee. I was like, all right, cool. So he injects it, and it was like, this is more than feeling like I have to pee. I felt like I pooped my pants on that CT scan table. My whole body got warm. My pants got warm. I was like, something just happened, doctor. but, but, then anyways,
And
so
then
that
you
was the.
think you have
Oh my gosh, I was a mess. And anyways, so time passed, and everything's like whatever. I still feel like I got something wrong with my throat, or like I can't breathe right. But I mean, that's one story. I
Well,
mean,
you might. So,
I also went to the ER at like
so
2
that's
a.m.
funny.
because of the same thing.
Yeah.
I felt like there was like all this like stuff.
No,
I was
no.
gonna drown.
This is what happened.
All right, good.
So this whole thing was going on with you, and we went camping, remember? In South Carolina.
Yes. Yep.
You remember we were camping and we're in a tent. We're all in a tent. And I wake up and like your kids are there and everything. I wake up like what was it? 6:30 in the morning? I don't know. It was early because
I
we're
couldn't sleep.
camping. And David, you're just sitting there like Indian style, sitting straight up, just feeling with your hands on your neck, staring straight
That's right.
into space, and you're just here, like feeling your neck, feeling all around it.
I thought I had a lump. I had a lump.
But what's funny is that's how I've been feeling lately. I don't know if it's been like pollution here has been bad, but maybe if there's a doctor listening, they can tell me if I should get checked. Because lately, anytime I've been talking, we need to have just a permanent doctor. Anytime I've been talking, it's kind of been like feels strained here.
Yeah.
And so I've been feeling lately, I'm like, oh, is this normal? Do I have a lump? Do I have like weird things going on? Is
Wait,
something swollen?
do that again.
I've been worried that I have like thyroid cancer or something.
Yeah, so when Kristen's basically showing her like throat, and it looks like there's like bird wings.
Yeah, right? I don't know if I don't know, but it's been feeling strained, and so
yeah, I mean,
I've been nervous. But it's true because I don't know, anytime something like that happens, my first thought is, oh, there's a terminal illness, and then Google doesn't help.
no.
And also most recently, I think what it actually was I think I just strained something a bit from some like core exercises, but my belly button was hurting for a bit. Like anytime I kind of like pressed on it or like moved weird. So obviously I start Googling things, and I mean, I think I mentioned this multiple times in our family group chat, But I'm starting to look things up, and it could have been anywhere from, like, just, I don't know, some stomach issues
Mm.
to appendicitis to, like, pancreatitis or something. I was certain that I was gonna have an appendix rupture.
Yeah, by
Um,
yourself in your apartment with your dogs to
right,
cuddle you while
and I
your
wouldn't be able
appendix
to do
is
anything. So
no.
that this is actually, I'm pretty sure I messaged something and I was like, if I don't make it home to you and Catherine, and I was like, if I don't make it home, like call someone
Yeah, like we know
because
where you're at in the city.
yeah, because maybe my appendix ruptured.
Shoot, if you had it in your apartment, we wouldn't know where you were where to send people.
Yeah, true, but I don't
There's an
know.
American somewhere in your city.
True.
But no, also, so back to mine, like I woke up once at like 1:30 in the morning and I was like, I can't sleep. It feels like there's all this like I'm choking on like just like saliva keeps hitting my voice box. So I'm like, I gotta go to the
Yeah.
ER. Like I got like some kind of like bad sinus something going on. COVID before COVID, I don't know. So I go to the ER and they actually do like chest X-ray. Everything comes back negative. They're like, you just got allergies, dude. Like you just
They're just like, okay.
yeah, I was like, well, I mean, I don't feel like I got allergies. I mean, I don't know what allergies feel like. I
Well,
don't think I ever had
that's
them
funny
before.
because I went to the doctor for breathing stuff too. And I felt like I couldn't like breathe. I felt like I was feeling like I couldn't get a deep breath
Right.
in.
Yeah.
And so I went to the doctor and I'm just like, oh, I'm having trouble breathing. And this was, I went in the States and she tested stuff and all that stuff. And she was like nothing seems wrong. She gave me like an inhaler thing because she was like, maybe there's like something
Maybe it's
and like
this.
this would help. But she didn't seem to think like anything abnormal was happening. And I was like, I feel like I just can't breathe and get a deep breath. So I think what it was, I think it was just like anxiety
It
or
was anxiety, it was
stress.
just muscle tension. Like,
And I think what it actually was I think I just had improper like breathing functions from like poor posture and
oh yeah,
everything.
you just got
But they don't check for that when you go to like a general doctor.
no. You got to go get
And
like
so
a
she's
million
just like,
tests done.
yeah, she's like, you're crazy. But they did do x-rays. So I had x-rays and everything for that. And everything turned out okay.
Shoot, that's why I keep
But
saying like every time I go to the doctor, I'm like, there's nothing
I,
wrong.
I
So,
was positive I was going to suffocate in my sleep or something.
man, you see the thing is though, it could have happened.
Maybe.
We don't know what sickness
I don't
does that to
know.
you, but I mean, shoot. Well, that's like literally the other day I was driving back from a camp, and I felt like this, like just like I felt like my heart pounded, like just one like strong beat, but I think it was like a
Oh,
muscle like
yeah.
cramping in my chest, and so then I was like, my chest has been sore like ever since, and so then now I'm like, am I having a heart attack? I don't know, I might be, but it's been a
Yeah.
week, so I'm assuming I'm okay.
Runs in the family.
I mean, am I okay? It's been a week.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, and
No.
I really hate you for this, but
Uh,
you remember when you punched me?
in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, when was that? That was recent, wasn't it?
This was like a couple years ago, the last time I saw you, I think. I was worried. It wasn't like crazy hard, but
Hard enough.
you just hit me in
I
the
punched
chest.
your
You
sternum.
punched me right in my heart though. And so
Fair enough.
I was no joke. I was worried. I was so mad because I was like, you could have killed me just then.
You broke my chest.
And then, no, because people have died from like impact. That's how one woman died. Her whipped cream canister blew off and hit her in the
No
chest and
way.
killed her. Yes. And
Wait,
I was
wait.
nervous for
A
like
whipped
two,
cream bottle
what?
blew off and hit this lady in the chest and she died?
Like an industrial one.
Oh,
An
okay.
industrial one.
An industrial whipped
One of
cream.
those.
Oh my gosh. Kristen might just die right now. Well, people die in the craziest
My
ways. I mean,
dog's
life is anxiety.
No, no, no. But I was worried for 2 or 3 days that I was going to die from heart failure because of that.
Well,
You
I
know
mean,
that,
almost.
right?
Our audience member said we're going to get canceled. Explain yourself.
Well,
No. Oh, he did tell us
what's
when I
up?
had that hard thing removed in my lip, that massive
Yeah,
like softball sized situation I had going on.
yeah, you're gross.
I got it. It was one of those like dissolvable like stitches, and I was playing like video games with a couple of my buddies, and they started. I started laughing like super hard, and then my whole mouth was bleeding because I ripped all the stitches, all the stitches out, and I never went back. I'm pretty sure I just went about my business, fell asleep. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It's crazy. Has there
have
any?
you
Good.
what? Have you ever had, sometimes you get a weird sharp pain in your head. Has that
Oh,
ever happened to you?
it's happening right now.
Or like or like sometimes I have something. This frequently concerns me. Sometimes I'll just be walking around and something will happen where the side here, there's like a dull ache sort of.
Mm,
And then what I do to make myself feel better, I'm like, oh, this is an aneurysm maybe too.
yeah.
So I hold it here so that I hope I cut off like blood flow or something in
That's probably
case.
gonna make it worse for your head. You're like gonna make your head go numb. Has this any for
No,
those
because then
those
it'll
listening?
stop me.
Please comment and like share your stories
So
if
I
anybody
touch
else
my neck
struggles.
because like there's arteries here and
You
stuff.
want
So
to you want to you
I
want
like
to
hold my
it's like
to
okay,
prevent.
so it's like when you get a snake bite or something and you want to tie like you want to block off the blood flow to the
Exactly.
rest of your body. So Kristen,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
get like a belt, and next time that happens, you tie it really tight, and you just keep it from like spreading to your brain.
So anytime I feel a weird pain or something happening in my body, I'm like, this is it.
That's it.
This
This is
is
the
my
moment.
last
This is
moment.
the moment I die. That
But
was
I'm
like
not
me.
even kidding. I'm genuinely concerned.
Yeah,
I'm actually very concerned, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm done
that
for.
that was me driving back from like the camp I was at. I just felt like this sharp pain in my chest. I'm like my chest. I still feel pain, but now I just feel like I just chalk it up to like it's just anxiety at this point. I think there's been a
Maybe,
couple other
and
times.
that all of this might be shortening our lifespan quite a bit when
Oh,
you
I'm
think
probably gonna
about
die in like 10 years.
it.
Oh, I gotta
So
do
much
some
more to worry
mindfulness
about.
stuff. Let's all just take like 1 minute of
What's
just
what's the most recent thing that you've been concerned about?
the most recent thing. Well, I mean the
Your heart
chest.
attack?
The heart. I'm
Yeah.
now it's all about I'm hyper focused on like my heart, and I think that's what
Okay.
that's when I went to therapy about it all. That's what it was. It was like you become hyper focused, and then you could feel like everything in that area that you're focused on. Everything could be normal, but you're just like so like hyper focused on it.
Right.
Uh oh.
What's our audience member have to say?
He said a ballooning and a weakening area in the artery. Aneurysm is the abdominal aorta. He's just sharing aneurysm stuff. So
Well, is he a doctor? Now I have extra stuff to be concerned about.
he's not a doctor, but also he might be. We don't fact check that stuff.
Oh, that's
But
true.
what is your most recent? I think you shared right your head,
No,
your
no,
nose.
something else.
Uh
No, I've been worried that I have like uterine cancer.
oh, that's unfortunate.
I've been,
You get
yeah.
that checked out.
Things have just felt strange.
Oh, they're feeling
And like
strange
I'll
down there, huh?
have and I don't know if it's just from like sitting a lot, like working or
You
what, but
have
like
been in
I've
your
had like
home for the past
just
couple weeks.
a new low back thing and like other things just seem irregular and so I'm
Hmm.
just like, all right, maybe something serious might be happening. So that's been what I've been concerned about lately.
Hmm. And you have been just like at home the past couple weeks, correct?
Right.
Because you're hiding from
The
the
CIA.
the CIA. No, the virus. The
No,
virus.
we're
Don't say the.
actually, yeah, so here in cases have rose here in China and they have a zero tolerance COVID policy.
Hmm.
So I've been working from home the past like 2 weeks, week and a half now or so. I don't know how long it's been. Working from home. I haven't been going out too much and like most of my friends are in lockdown too, so they can't leave their apartment complex.
Right.
So I just go out, walk my dogs, do my thing, work out at home.
There you go.
Um,
And did you ever? I
I
mean,
got
did
my
you?
first at-home COVID test yesterday.
Hey, there you go. We got a couple of schools here have been handing
So
those out to like because of our kids.
It's the
Now,
first time they've gotten him here.
because of your anxiety, then with like health related things, have you when COVID first kicked off, were you one of those people who were like disinfecting everything?
Of course, COVID was not
Yeah.
good for me. Well,
That's right.
well, because here, so it started here in China, right? Supposedly.
Right.
So, we don't fact check, so don't,
Somebody
whatever.
it could have
We're just
been
going with what we know.
Uganda, whatever.
So, it started here, and I had just come back that January, like, or the like first day of
Yeah,
January or
you
something
brought it to the
from our
States
trip.
January 2020.
Don't say that. From our trip. And so I get back, and then all this stuff starts happening with COVID. And originally it's just in Wuhan, and it's like, all right, whatever. But then things start picking up speed, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden everything's happening in Shanghai. And it was very different here compared to the States. Like they actually like locked down here.
right.
But it was more, at least for Shanghai, it was more, everyone was like, from in those first few weeks, everyone here was like, all right, we're just going to stay home. And like,
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do. Like, we're going to do our thing and stay
right.
home. It wasn't necessary. Like, there were regulations put in place, but at least for Shanghai, people just kind of did that. But anytime, like, we would have to get groceries or get something delivered or whatever.
Yep.
Anytime, what I would do is I kept it in the hallway. I got my disinfectant wipes. I would wipe the bags down it came in, take everything out, and like wipe all the packaging. If I could, I would put it in new packaging then. And then I would disinfect the handle of the door that I touched and everything like that,
Yeah.
and then keep all the trash outside.
And keep COVID
So
in that
I had my
COVID
own like my
your
quarantine like
ritual,
system.
a ritual. And you
And
kept
even if I went, well, once things started getting better, and be mindful here, I think at in 2020, I think at worst, I think Shanghai had like 200 cases or something at
yeah,
most. And there's like over 25 million people here or something.
right.
But once things got better, I would go out to eat, and I would carry little wipes with me, and I'd be wiping down the table. I would wipe the handle of the
Hey, I wasn't
silverware.
that bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But it was different. It was different for you all.
Yeah.
And because for me, by the time I got to the States, I just think things were different. But like here, when everything was still really unknown and everything, I don't know.
My my
I
biggest
was
worry
paranoid.
because of it all was like the doctors weren't taking people for anything, because of COVID. They were really cautious on
So if
who could
something
come
else
in with.
happened,
Yeah, so I was like, if I got another hard lump in my lip, who's gonna
that's
help me
true.
now? Exactly.
So even right now, I'm a bit concerned about my
You're thinking about it.
throat.
Well, I had another
It's
one of
feeling a
those.
bit strained. I don't know why.
I had another one of those when I moved, and the same thing. And I went to a doctor up here, and he's like, "I'm not going to do the surgery. I'm not going to cut it out." I was like, "It'll go
You
away."
had another mucus ball?
Yeah, yeah. And so I've had two of them, and it ended up going
You
away.
didn't.
So it's
Oh,
like,
you
yeah.
didn't
So
want to
it's all
cut it
good.
out.
No, I probably have like a ton of stories of like health anxiety and like reasons why like I went to the doctor or
Yeah, more keep
whatever.
coming to mind
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
talk.
Like when I was a kid, I mean, I had something hit me in like right here really hard in between my eyes, and it hurt really
Yeah.
bad. And I was like, I gotta get it checked out. Just like list of stuff.
Oh, I thought I frequently think that I'm going blind a lot
Oh, I'm going blind.
too. I always worry about that.
Yeah. Now, how would that happen? Would you then like turn into like Daredevil?
Maybe
I mean,
I'd have to do something, right?
you gotta do something, have fun with it at least.
Are there any other fears related to dying that you have, but aren't necessarily like bodily health? Like, for instance, for some reason, glass bridges are very popular here in China. And I'm not about them.
Right.
I don't do that because you don't know when that glass is going to break.
You don't know when any
And they
you
have they have broken. Like
yeah,
parts have broken. So,
and you don't know when anything's gonna break though.
I did walk across one here. I think it was the biggest one maybe. I don't remember. But I walked across, but only because they had a middle section that wasn't glass. And so what I did, I put on my little booties they give you, and then my friends are out there just like jumping
Having
around,
a
like
good
taking
time.
pictures, laying on the grass. I beeline, I like grab my stuff. I'm walking past all these little kids and grannies and everything, and I
Right.
beeline across that bridge on
It's
the
like, I'm
part that's
done.
not glass. And
I
I
mean,
just
that's a
get
heights
across and I
thing, though.
wait.
That's a heights thing, though, too.
Well, I could fall to my death.
Right. Well, here's what I do is like I
That's what heights
literally
is about.
anywhere I go, I think of like the worst possible thing that could happen. Right. I'm staying in a hotel room. I'm like, what if the building collapses?
Yes.
Or I'm
Yes.
riding a boat. What if this boat sinks? How am I going to get my kids to safety?
So I was very nervous. I went to a village when I went on a trip this past summer, and it was like a tea terrace place, and but the buildings were like built onto the side of the mountain,
Yeah.
and that's where I slept. And the whole time I was like, what if there's a mudslide?
Yeah,
I'm done.
it's
I'm
over.
done.
There's no. So it's yeah, it's like everything like that. Like everywhere like I go, I do think about like what's the worst possible thing that can happen, right? But then I still like do stuff. Like I get up, like I'm scared of heights and stuff. Riding in a helicopter. I'm like, worst possible scenario is the
Which
pilot dies, I take over and I land the thing.
But a helicopter, see, that's where I would never go in a helicopter because at least a plane could potentially coast. A helicopter, that's just like a rock in the sky. If the little propellers stop,
Right. That's
then
true. I
you're
would. Here's
definitely
what I would try to do. If I was taking a helicopter ride like I did before, and we're like over, it's over. It was along the coast, over the ocean, and I'm like, the pilot passes out. Something happens to the pilot. I jump in the front
goes
seat.
over the ocean.
Yeah, I try to
So you
maneuver
can
this thing
hopefully
right.
jump out
That's what I'm
and survive.
hoping. I'm gonna maneuver this helicopter. Have no idea what I'm doing. I played video games. I can fly it in video games. I'm going for it. I would try to get it close enough to
Yeah.
the water. Then I'm just jumping, and hopefully my body won't hit the blades that are spinning.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So that's a
See, I
situation.
do have a trouble. I have trouble flying. I'm not good at
Well, you
flying.
you you get heavily medicated when you fly.
I wouldn't say heavily. I do take medicine,
They put her underneath in the cargo because she's just
which
out.
which helps.
Right.
Yeah, I do, but I have to, or else the whole flight I'm a nervous wreck.
Well,
Like,
here's what we
I
need to
think
do.
I had like bruises on my hand one time because I forgot my medicine
Just
the whole like 2 hour
right.
flight. I'm just like,
So here's what we need. We need to have like a health anxiety like episode part 2, I think. Because
yeah, we'll have to go
this
on.
is going to end up being our longest episode yet, which I think is fantastic. Because I think it just means we're getting
Our
better at
next part will just be any time that we felt like we were gonna die.
anytime. Yeah, right. But I do have some to change the topic a little, make it a little bit more lighthearted, so we're not talking about death right before we go to bed. Um,
Or start my day.
or start your day in your case. Is do you have any tattoos?
I don't. I cannot ever. I don't mind tattoos. I think they look cool. If you get a good one, but I can never get one because I know eventually I won't want it there anymore. Like eventually I'll get tired of it.
Well, just put it in a spot that you don't gotta like see it all the time.
No, because I'll know it's there.
You'll feel it.
I'll sense it. Yeah.
Sense. What would you get if you did get some? Oh shoot!
Oh
Someone breaking
man.
in?
I don't know what's happening.
If you had to get a tattoo, what would you get for your
If
very
I
first
had
tattoo?
to,
Yeah, that's like you have to get a tattoo
maybe.
tomorrow.
Oh snap! I can't. I need more time to think.
No, you gotta
Maybe
go
like maybe just like a little line
one little line,
somewhere.
a
Yeah.
line somewhere.
Yeah, so then it's like kind of hidden, which is like a lot. Cause I don't,
A,
I
a
like
line,
hard edges rather than like circles. So I don't know if I'd want to get like a dot. So maybe just like a little, a
just
line,
a line. What does that
like
represent?
on my butt cheek or something.
Well, here's what I think. I think we should go
And
get
I don't have to
tattoos.
see it.
When you come back in the States, we should go get tattoos.
Oh, okay, we'll think about this.
Let's go get
Make
tattoos.
decisions
I'll pick
later.
out yours and you pick out mine.
I don't know about that.
It'll be great. I'll send you what it is prior. So it's like these are your
You
options.
have a tattoo,
I'll send you
right?
I'll send you 3 options. You got to pick from one.
Oh God. Okay, we can
And
try.
you do the same for me. And
Okay.
it can be just like a quarter size if you want. So you're not in the so it's not
Oh,
expensive. You're not
maybe
in the
penny.
quarter. So you're not
Nickel.
expensive.
What's bigger? Okay.
A quarter.
Well,
Yeah, I have a tattoo.
you
I
have
got
to buy it. You have to pay for it.
If it what?
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, you pay for the other person's. So
Yeah.
you pay for mine. So you make it whatever
Okay.
size you want.
Okay. I'm saving up for this.
So I have an owl on my leg.
Your tattoo's pretty cool.
I actually really like it. I couldn't decide what to
Yours
get for
is
my.
really cool.
Here's the thing. I couldn't decide what to get for my first tattoo. There's a ton of things that I want to get still, and there's a ton of I'd still get more tattoos. I have a lot of ideas of what I would want to get because I don't mind it at all. There's a fun story
Yeah.
I'll share later on about my tattoo experience. But it's pretty big. It's about the size of my hand
Yeah.
on my leg,
Yeah, it
and
is.
so I couldn't decide what to get. And then my wife showed me a picture of some guy's drawing of something. So basically, it's an owl, which I like owls, so that's cool, anyways. And I also like the ocean, the sea, that kind of thing, right? So
Yeah,
it's
of course.
it's a sea captain owl is basically what it is. So he has like a hat, like a hat like I'm wearing like now, that has like a little
Mm-hmm.
anchor on it, and then it's the owl, and then he has the owl has like a beard. So it's kind of cool. We'll have to share a photo of it later
Yeah,
sometime.
we will share a
Yeah.
photo to our Instagram.
That's right. All right, we're at 41 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's keep this going for a few more minutes because I think it's a
Give
good
us
a long
give
episode.
us one more question and we'll wrap it up.
All right, I got one more question, then we'll do the if you had to. I'll just pop out two right now. All right, so you go. All right, so here's the thing right now is you go to the zoo, right? You're at the zoo. What's your least
I'm not-
favorite exhibit? Like, what's your least favorite animal?
Least favorite animal? Maybe.
And then your favorite. So share both, favorite and least, when you go to the zoo.
Okay, my favorite, I would have to say elephants. I like elephants a lot. I think they're pretty cool. My least favorite would be like the what's it called? Like the reptiles and stuff.
Oh, you don't like all
Unless
like
it's
the
like a
snakes
cool
and stuff,
snake, because they just kind of sit there and they don't really do much.
right? Hmm.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of zoos anymore
No,
though.
I love zoos
But
if they're good though. Like
yeah.
Columbus Zoo in Ohio is a great zoo. Fort Worth Zoo in Texas was a great zoo. If I had to pick my favorite would probably be the gorilla exhibit. Like I love the gorilla exhibit. And then my least favorite would probably be like the wolf exhibit. Because I feel like
Why?
most of the
I like
time,
wolves.
well, most of the time you go there and they're either like just hiding out sleeping or they're not really moving.
That's true. It's kind of like the tiger and stuff,
Because
right?
I
Like
like
any
wolves
of the
too.
big animals, they just kind of hang out there.
Right. Like I like wolves too. I would get a wolf tattoo, but I
I
feel
like
like
wolves. What is your favorite animal?
my favorite animal, shoot, I don't even know. It would probably it'd probably be a wolf, honestly.
That's a wolf is not that really. A
But
wolf
the
has always been my favorite animal. I've also liked elephants, but I also really like panthers. They're just cool.
right.
We've got an
But
issue. We've got issues
I
happening here.
so maybe well let's go get wolf tattoos. She muted us because she has to yell at the dog. But Kristen and I, when she comes back to the States, we're gonna get wolf tattoos.
Maybe that's what we should do.
That's what we should get.
Little matching wolf
Not
tattoos.
little.
That would be nice. So,
I'll send.
what are we gonna get a whole back tattoo?
No, I'll send you. I'll send you what we're gonna get. We'll get the same one on our arm.
All right. Well, we'll see.
All right, I think that's all I have today. Hold up.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I thought about this. Oh yeah, if you had to, here we go. We're wrapping this thing up. We are wrapping this thing up.
Yeah.
Last one, if you had to. All right, this has been great. And then we'll record another one immediately following this.
What's our audience member? Does he have any last words of
Yeah,
wisdom?
if you have any last questions for us, audience one audience member. This is great though. We're only number 4,533. All right, have your
Give us
firstborn.
this. Would you rather?
Have your firstborn raised by baboons and returned to you at the age of 13. Or drive a smart car off a ramp over the Grand Canyon.
What the heck?
Now, it doesn't
Sorry,
say...
I'm gonna do the baboon thing.
It says over the Grand Canyon, though, so, I mean, you might make the jump, I'm assuming.
So I make it.
I mean, it doesn't
All
say
right.
you
If
made
it's a
it.
sure thing, I'll do the Grand Canyon thing.
It
But
doesn't say it's a sure thing. I think it would be interesting.
then I don't know. It sounds like the child thing is a sure thing, and like they might be okay. So
Listen, here's the thing: is I think it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't think that kid is gonna be okay being raised by baboons for 13 years and then being just given back to a person and saying, "Here, this is yours now."
I guess that's a fair
And how
point.
would that go
So
about
once
it?
you
Like the
keep going,
baboon
you
parents
have
just
to. Well, at that point, just keep them with the baboons, right? They made it that far.
yeah, just shoot, give the baboon some shoot. Oh
So the
my goodness,
second one is you have to drive a car off
a
a
smart
ramp over.
car. So I don't know
Is
what
that
that
supposed
means.
to be better? Can it fly?
I don't think it's
If
gonna
it's a
go.
Tesla, I'll do it. It seems like that could maybe happen.
A Tesla might be able to have wings and like fly over the Grand Canyon or turn into a plane, right? Right,
Yeah.
Elon.
Or like it has that little whoopee cushion feature. Maybe it'll actually like fart and push
Well,
air out to
I'm
help it.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Teslas have parachutes, so that might be it.
No.
Well, chat.
Do they?
If I don't know, I'm
If
just kidding.
so,
I have no
it
idea.
might be useful.
All right, chat.
Because I'm always nervous when you drive over bridges, they're gonna collapse, and like you have to think of a plan of what you would do.
Well, that's what I don't understand about planes. Is like, why don't planes have just massive parachutes installed just in case for safety if something happens? Like, what
Don't
day and
know.
age are we living in? This is why I'm always a conspiracy
What did
theorist.
Chad
Because
say?
something's going on. Who's Chad?
I thought you said Chad.
No, I said those in the chat. If you want to put in the chat what your opinion is on
Oh, the
the
cat.
if you had to.
Okay.
No, Chad. There ain't no Chad here. Chad? Hey, Chad, you here? Who's Chad?
Chad. That's not our one guess.
That's gonna be our one guess. We gotta find a Chad. All right, we're gonna find a Chad to be on the podcast. We are gonna get some other guests on here soon, though. We're gonna knock down some people to be on it
Taking
shortly.
pictures of my dog's
But
doing
I
some
think
cute stuff.
that's. Oh, wait, we
So,
got something. Hold up.
all right.
Oh yeah, it's just our chat. They said our audience member said he is Chad. So, all right. I think
Okay.
that's
Well,
it. That's our episode. That was
good to
good. This is our longest episode to date. So thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for supporting us. This is episode 11. We are moving up the ranks of the best podcast in the world, and we're going to be number 4,530 soon. So we're gonna pass up some random person that made a
nice.
podcast yesterday shortly. So we're. But any last words?
Not yet.
Not yet, and
But
hopefully
if I die after this, those might be my last words.
they
So.
might be. If you die, we know why. You explained it all. You're probably gonna choke
It's
yourself.
true. It could be
You're
one
probably
of
gonna
those thousands of
you're
things we
probably
talked
gonna
about.
choke yourself just trying to stop a blood clot from getting to your brain. So, all right. If anybody else has any of their stories, any anxiety stuff related to health or like funny stories like that, where they Google something and it's like you're gonna die, then you could comment it. But thank you for supporting us. Continue to like us, subscribe to our channel, share our content with the world, and I think we're out of here. So adios, amigos.
Peace.